I'm a lucky woman this morning, sitting between two handsome men. Chris Markowski is joining in. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Our topic is very interesting today. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. First, have you ever had an overly demanding boss, someone who reminded you of the devil? Take a look.
I need 10 or 15 skirts.
What kind of skirts?
Please bore someone else with your questions.
Never ask Miranda anything.
You run errands.
Hello?
Where are my eggs?
Hello?
Lingerie. Boogie boards.
A million girls would kill for this job.
All right, so not everybody's boss wears Prada, but there are some crazy bosses out there who demand a lot of you, and we wanted to hear from you guys this morning and talk about crazy bosses and what are the craziest things that they've ever asked, and where do you draw the line?
Chris, you have some stories to share?
I used to wait tables on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, so having to wait on those United Nations Euro weenies was difficult enough, okay? Let's just leave it at that.
The Euro weenies? Yes, the Euro weenies are delicious. They are delicious. Yeah, I mean, as Mitch said at the beginning of the show, this is not really fair for us to talk about. I mean, the craziest thing that
But this isn't your first job. What about bosses prior to this?
Yeah, I was going to say, but, you know, on this job, I've been asked to dance with giant purple dinosaurs and asked to, you know, attend conventions and make a jackass out of myself.
You enjoy that, though. Yeah. Those aren't bad things.
That is true. Raina's kind of like my boss here, and she makes me talk about, you know, naked Barbies and all sorts of crazy stuff there on the program.
You know what? I don't hear any complaints. None whatsoever, right? I don't think I've had a crazy boss. I've never experienced anything like that, thank goodness. There's people that I didn't really see eye to eye with, but nothing crazy has happened. But think about like personal assistants, especially you and I have lived in Hollywood, and think about all the crazy directors out there. There's a couple stories that we actually got word of. One guy was asked to get 200 tennis balls for under $10 for his boss and his girlfriend. This was a personal assistant for a demanding film and TV director. He just ended up stealing them. 200 for under 10 bucks.
I guess you have to like look at your. I think that some bosses probably get away with more than others because they're well liked, and then you also have to decide what the parameters of your job are. I mean, is it really part of your job to go get coffee and get the dry cleaning? If it's not, you know, you have to decide where your own line is, I guess.
You're a personal assistant. I think you're probably going to be, you know, game for anything. It's pretty much. I just, you know, I have
as long as it's not illegal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to be there to pick up whatever they need.
Let us know, where do you draw the line with those nutty bosses? Guys, what you got going on?
Chris Markowski, our finance guru, is weighing in on this conversation here, and we're asking you, have you ever had an overly demanding boss, one like this perhaps?
I need 10 or 15 skirts.
What kind of skirts?
Please bore someone else with your questions.
Never ask Miranda anything.
You run errands.
Hello?
Where are my eggs?
Hello?
Lingerie. Boogie boards.
A million girls would kill for this job.
Hey, and Chris, I'm glad you're up here because does this lead to a hostile work environment that could lead on to a lawsuit or something like that? I mean, when you think of money, but tell me your thoughts.
I think it depends on how far it's going to go. I mean, you know, you can take a look at things. If you're paying somebody to go ahead and do all these things and it's a learning experience, well, what's it going to be? I mean, I have interns that I send to go get the oil changed on my car. I mean, but he's getting paid to do it.
Yeah, it depends on which job you have.
I'm going to get ours to do that.
Just thinking about that now.
Well, Raina said I got to go out and I got to wax her car later.
Oh, okay. Wax on or wax out. All right.
There you go. Yeah, it depends on what job you have. You know, we told a story earlier about a personal assistant out in Los Angeles, and he works for a big TV and film director who wanted him to get 200 tennis balls for under $10. Things like that are just ludicrous. I feel like people just take advantage of.
I think that's a challenge. They would say, hey, how good are you? What about if it goes against your moral obligations? You know, I mean, where you say, you know, I just don't believe in this, but you say, well, then you get fired. Can they go on religion off that or something like that, or even just morality?
Listen, I don't care what your job is. If your boss is telling you something that you in your heart and hearts know is wrong, don't do it.
Okay, so one of you will still live here. I won't take the boat. Anyway, we want to know, what is the craziest thing maybe one of your bosses or your boss currently has had you do? And where do you draw the line? What is the one thing, much like what I say now, I'm not going to kill anybody for this show. At all.
There you go.
Over here with the guys and talk about the job, the workforce. Have you ever had an overly demanding boss, someone who reminds you of the devil?
I need 10 or 15 skirts.
What kind of skirts?
Please bore someone else with your questions.
Never ask Miranda anything.
You run errands.
Hello?
Where are my eggs?
Hello?
Lingerie. Boogie looking for. It's
A million girls would kill for this job.
Of course, that's one extreme boss, I would say. Chris Markowski is joining us, the watchdog on Wall Street, who I'm sure you've had employees and interns and want to do things for you that not necessarily, because you have a radio show, not necessarily related to the actual show itself, but you've had them to take care of business, basically.
If I have a meeting or something I have to do and I need something that needs to get done, just go take care of it for me.
Like pick up your cleaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wax your car.
Not wax my car. I'm not going to have him go out and wash the car. unless it's, of course, Andy's car wash place that he did last year.
Yes, the bikini car wash.
It's always got to go back to the bikini thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to decide everyone has to decide where their line is, where you draw the line in terms of what you're willing to do for your employer. But I mean, the way the job market is, you may have a boss who's kind of a jerk, but as long as he or she's not asking you to do something illegal or immoral, you kind of have to do it if you want to keep the job.
When I was 13 years old, I was a dishwasher at a German restaurant in upstate New York, and they had like a big nature preserve in the backyard, and when it was cold, she made us go out and fluff the hay for the ducks and the stuff that they had back there, which was always wonderful in the cold weather.
And so you're saying at one time you were a fluffer.
Stop! I tried.
I deserve that.
I really tried to stop him, Lauren. I promise you. I could feel it coming, and I was like, ah! Anyway, that's the head drama question of the day.
Where do you draw the line?
What's the craziest thing a boss has ever asked you to do? Dish your drama, dailybuzz now.
I deserve that totally.
No, you didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it either. Over to you guys.